Funny. Well, welcome. This was It's About Pirates. Guess what the song is about? Well, yeah. I have no idea how to play that song. I've used it a couple times for videos, and every time, before I play, I go in the studio and, try to rehearse it, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So, but it is definitely the song that we needed to use for this demo, because back when I recorded it, I had no fuzz. I actually had no pedals. Can you believe it? It's not even a year ago I actually bought my first real pedal that I kind of, recognize as, hey, I'm buying a pedal and it's good. Who would have thought? So I'm learning a lot. And back then I used the fuzz out of the Line 6 M13, which is of course a digital replica of a fuzz and can't even get close to the sound we needed. So, especially with fuzzes, if you've seen some stuff on my channel, you know that I don't really know what I'm talking about, because I have never really delved into that kind of, sound. So, I wanted to educate myself. So I'm like, well, everyone says it's not a big muff. It's close to a big muff. It's kind of a big muff sound. Big, 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 muff, muff, muff. And so I just bought one to know as a baseline what, what a big muff sounds like. It's like you're talking about overdrive pedals and you don't know what a tube screamer sounds like. Well, you probably shouldn't be talking about overdrive pedals. So I thought, in order to talk about fuzzes correctly, I should know what the apparently first pedal that ever came out sounds like. And talked to a couple of people at Session Music, very nice guys, and they said I should get the classic one, the one with the weird power supply switchy thing. They said they make a smaller version, they make the Nano, they make the one with the wicker, they make, many, and of course there's a lot of Big Muff clones. But in order to know if they're good or not, we should know what the Electro Harmonix Big Muff classic, the big one, sounds like. They said that's the one to get, even though it's very bulky and, a little bit bigger and not so convenient, but they said the parts are a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit further spaced apart. Anyway, that's the classic one. So we're looking at that. Of course, there's a billion videos out there, so this is more me sharing my journey into what's a fuzz. And I'm playing it with the Soooo Badger 18, but let's go into the setup. Boink. And there is the Big Muff on the pedal testing station, which are built humongously, but funny enough, it is still not big enough to actually hold the Big Muff in the correct position, which would be like this. So we're gonna have to film it crooked, but I think the camera setup can do it. Okay, so there's the Big Muff, which is coming in with the Mogami cable, 3 meters, very nice. And that's going out with a Planet Waves cable. And like I said in my last video, if any cable company wants to see all their cables here in my videos, just hit me, write me, do a thing, come by, bring me cables, whatever. So that's going out with the Planet Waves cable, and the Big Muff is powered with the Carl Martin Pro Power right here on the power rest, which I call that. And the original classic Big Muff actually still has, I don't know why, the classic power little doohickey, which if you buy the Carl Martin Pro Power is actually one of the cables that you get with it. So buy this and you've got everything you need. Here on the floor I have another power supply, the Harley Benton Power Plant, which is there, well, because the cables don't reach. So then in the loop we've got the Electro Harmonix memory toy analog delay, because for the main sound we're gonna stay Electro Harmonix. And that's my knee, in case you're wondering. We got a couple of different fuzzes here just to show you, a little bit of a range compared to the Big Muff. That's the Planeswalker from Dr. J, more subtle. That's the Voodoo Octave, which will take your head off. This is the Mobile Floyd. It's still a pre-production model. Where's it there? Woo! Pre-production model, so this it's very close to being the finished version. And there's the Jedi Indigo, which is a silicone fuzz. Okay, this is going with this very thin but very high quality cable into the Soooo Badger 18, which we're gonna have slightly cranked, I guess, and that is being mic'd with an SM57. Again, this is the center of the speaker, and you want it halfway between the edge and the center. Okay, so with this, actually, if in case you have that speaker, make sure there's actually a piece of wood in the middle here to make sure you're not kicking in the speaker. So if you're actually miking it completely centered, you're against the wood and you're really not having a lot of high end. So go a little bit on the outside. We're playing this with the PRS SE245 standard Gibson dimensions, but you know, if you ask me, better guitar. So I need to clean up here. There's a lot more pedals that have to go, you know, bye-bye. So, and back to me. I love saying that. Back to me. There, you've seen it. We're gonna check it out with a couple of other fuzzes that I have, and now I of course know a lot better what they're supposed to do when we're taking the Big Muff as a bass line. There's a little bit of a fuzz buzz hum going on because of course I have a lot of lights and cameras and many things coming from different outlets, and who knows, grounded, not grounded, old house, part of the new house, and we're going through a lot of stuff. So hey, with a sound like this, oh. Who minds a little bit of buzz hum fuzz? So, fuzz. The controls, as far as I understand, please correct me. Always correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm learning as I go. And oftentimes I'm learning from you guys because you say, hey, that's not correct what you said. On the Planeswalker fuzz, which we will click on in a bit, it said SINGE. Now, of course, I know that it's silicone, or in German, silicium, and germanium. Two different kinds of transistors that give you different kind of fuzz sound. As far as I understand, the silicone is a little bit more subtle. And obviously I tested the Love Pedal silicone fuzz and the Love Pedal BBB13 OC76, which are two different types of transistors. Apparently germanium. So, as far as I understand, this thing has a set gain setting. So it fuzzes like it fuzzes. There's no more to say to that. You've got the amplifier section, which is, of course, how much output's going to the amp. Then you've got the tone, which isn't just like a high-end roll-off. Well, it probably is, but it results in a variety of sounds. And there is the sustain, which is kind of the compression. And obviously, this is not the subtle pedal. When you crank up the compression, there's one thing you can do. It's excuse me, I gotta do this again. So, and it also sounds as if you're kind of cranking up the gain. The Big Muff, for me, can be used for two different things, primarily. And it has been used for these things since the, mid-60s or something like that. Singing violin-like lead sounds. Apparently Santana used it quite a bit. That's when you have the tone kind of to the left. And the sawing kind of only play single notes, Hendrix, Lenny Kravitz, kind of buzzing sound when you have the tone more to the right. And let's check it out. We're on the bridge pickup, because it's pretty much probably where you're going to be, but we're also going to try the neck pickup. So this is our clean sound on bridge. Little bit of fuzz going on there, because the amp kind of fuzzes the tiniest bit. Let's crank it down a little bit. Okay, so on sustain low and tone in the middle, we're gonna see what the Big Muff sound like. That sounds a little bit like, you know, it's your speakers under a pillow, but also very, very big and, you know, troll-like. You might want to play with your amp to possibly get the high end a little bit out if you wanted that. Let's try. Doesn't do too much. It's such a buzzy, fat sound that you really want to make sure you're playing very clean, because it's very easy to go too muddy on it. Okay? So let's see what happens if we put the tone to the left. Kind of gets a spike in the mids. I would say 1 or 2, maybe 900 to 1, something like that, kilohertz, hertz, 1 kilohertz, 900 hertz. It's somewhere, maybe 1.5, something like that, where it's kind of like a nice kind of wah middle, wah in an open setting. Which is why it's gonna sing once we crank up the sustain. So let's go tone all the way up. Kind of sounds like a synthesizer coming in, like a saw, actually more like a hollow kind of square wave, if you ask me, being dialed in, as if you're adding a synthetic wave to it. Yeah, if you're twisting that through me, it sounds a little bit like pulse width modulation. That shit I know about because that's what I studied. What do I know about pedals, really? Now we cranked up something that I would just call compression. Obviously the tone gets, it'll stay there forever. But you've got to be very careful how to play it, because every single thing just comes out. And that was, of course, Black Dog by Elvis Presley. So, for a rhythm or a very annoying lead, kind of feels like you're playing with an ebow or like a Fernandez sustainer kind of pickup. points, it definitely sounds, I can say that, I have a lisp, synthetic. Okay, you can hear kind of like a, you know, square, whatever, saw wave. So let's get tone to the left and then we're kind of done. You notice that the low notes are kind of even overloading the amp and all you get is so you wanna, if you wanna play lead stuff, you wanna play high, otherwise it gets very, very muddy. Also, it's hard to play because every attack has this thump, but it's a violin. I mean, if you want that not scream, but singing lead sound, one that just like makes your guitar soar, the Big Muff could be for you. Wow, that's buzzy hummy. To kind of a mid setting, listen to it again, and then we're gonna go quickly through a couple of other fuzzes. The Planeswalker cranked up Dr. J. All the way up, definitely fuzzish, but not that. It's way thinner and therefore possibly more playable, easier to play. Let's put it that way. But so that's about 90 euro. We're gonna go to the Voodoo Octave from Joyo or Harley Benton, but without the octave in. That sounds like this, also fully cranked up. Synthetic, even more so, more like a synthesizer, but obviously no fatness and no sustain compared to the Big Muff. Big Muff, by the way, in that version, 59 euro, in the smaller version, which is probably better for a pedal board, don't really quite know the difference, in sound, 52, as far as I saw. We're gonna go to a not yet released pedal, the Mobile Floyd. Also more of an overdrive sound, so listen. way cranked up, sounds to me like really good overdrive. I mean, it's a great pedal, but personally, I wouldn't call it fuzz. If this is a fuzz. And lastly, very boutique, the Jetta Indigo silicone fuzz, all the way cranked up. Kind of feels as if it's got a built-in noise gate. Fuzzy, definitely. Not as humongous, but clearer, more defined, and more high-end, which can be very nice. Obviously, very different sounds. If you're looking for the really fat, broken tone, Big Muff. I mean, I'm not telling you anything new here. That's shit you know. But I'm exploring it for the first time. And I really have to say, I'm happy that I bought it. It's gonna go in my arsenal of pedals. And every time I want that really messed up, broken sound or kind of vintagey 60s, 70s lead tone, Big Muff time! At 42 Studios. Have a good one.